Hey YouTube, this is Diamondtron01 again, bringing you another video. I've been watching The Walking Dead since episode 1. I've missed a few episodes, but I basically went back over during the marathons and got caught up. Um, this newest episode that came out Sunday on the 16th of March was a heavy episode. Now, we all find out what happens at the prison of who was feeding the rats. Now, I had my speculations, and I kind of came to a conclusion that it was, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the episode yet, Lizzie, the oldest little girl that's traveling with Carol. Well, if you've seen the episode, you see what happens where she's at the railroad tracks and she's feeding the walker that got crippled by the tracks itself. It just showed the scene where Lizzie had killed her younger sister Mika. Now, Mika seemed pretty nice and everything. She was still kind of innocent like the way Sophia was. But the fact that she still had the knife in her hand, Lizzie that is, had the knife in her hand and said she was gonna do the same thing to little ass kicker, Rick's daughter. The fact that she had that look in her face that, well, she'll come back. And when she pulled the gun on Carol for trying to stop her, even though they got her away from it. Now, I've seen the episode so far, and at the end of the episode where Carol takes Lizzie to the little flower patch in the grove and it says, look at the flowers, and she pulls out the gun and kills Lizzie, I saw on Talking Dead and everything, how people thought, oh, that was the saddest moment. It was sad, but in all honesty, I probably wouldn't have batted an eye. I mean, I would have probably, with risk of gunshot, if that little kid had pulled a gun out of me, I would say, you better make sure you pull that trigger, because if I get a hold of you, I'm going to rip your fucking throat out. Because that kid has such a psychotic look in her eye. I would have choked her to death. So, to the little girl who plays Lizzie, you pulled that thing off well. Because there's only two people in the whole series of The Walking Dead that I have come to really, 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 really hate. Most people say Meryl, Daryl's brother, but Meryl ain't much of John. He's just doing what he can to survive. The two people I hate the most is this little kid, because like I said, at the scene when they was feeding the walkers, and it showed that it was only a hand feeding the walkers. Now, I didn't know who it was. I can't say I did know because I'd be a liar, but I did have my suspicion that this kid was already screwed up in the head when Carol was teaching them how to use weapons and everything. Now that it's confirmed that it was her, I can honestly say I called it. Wow. Well, it's a heavy episode. I'd have to say. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The only other two people that I've ever actually hated in the whole Walking Dead series, and everybody will probably most likely agree because there's only been a few, is the governor. I figure if Michonne had the chance to kill him and they was fighting in the room with the heads and everything like that way back in the previous end of the season, I figure why not she heard, what's her name, sorry, forgive me, I forgot her name already because she's already dead and doesn't matter because they're dead. Anyway, of course she slept with the governor, so she's, oh, of course I'm tied to this man and all that crap. I'm like, well, you slept with him, who gives a shit? If she heard her scream no and then pulled out the gun, I wouldn't have cared. I mean, if you're prone to killing this bastard who's caused all this trouble and tortured people, if you were getting shot, I would have used that blade and I would have finished the job right then and there and then get shot. I mean, of course she took out his eye and everything, but it doesn't matter because since the prison got destroyed and every damn thing, his ass is dead. But when it came to him getting killed, she stabbed him through the chest, and yet the other person came over and just put a bullet in his head. I would have left his ass alive and let the damn walkers just tear. I would have let them torture his ass. I mean, ooh, that would have been so good now, wouldn't it? Anyway, back to this episode. It kind of had a Godfather moment, where they oh, forgive me, I think it's Godfather, where they go out on the boat on the lake and it's like or something, and next thing you know, you hear a gunshot, and they look back, and there's just one person in the boat, and it's just kind of rocking. But if any of y'all get it, y'all know what I'm talking about. The scene where she's taking Lizzie out there, and she's crying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I'm like, okay, hey, look at that over there. Boom! It just freaking shot her. So I'm like, I wouldn't care if I was an adult. I'd just beat the shit out of her and say, I'm going to knock the shit out of you, and then I'm going to kill you. I mean, like I said, to the little girl who did that, you'd pull that role good. I hate you. Forgetting this is probably going to go viral if it does, if I'm probably going to be an asshole. But there has never been a person I wanted to punch more than that little kid at that moment in this episode, because damn, your character is a psychotic little bitch. Wow, that might seem kind of harsh looking back on it, but it's honestly what I think. Your character was a psychotic little bitch, and had you had turned around saying I'm gonna do this little ass kicker and everything, if you had turned around and done that, I would have knife, gun, whatever, got around and got your ass in a sleeper hole. But it freaking pulled the 6-shooter out and just put a bullet in her head. Wow, man. Anyway, that's just honestly what I think. Now that we finally figured out who caused all the trouble at the prison of making all the walkers pile up. Now, if I think that if all the walkers had not piled up, they could have lasted there a little bit longer, but not by a long shot because of the tank coming in and the fall of the prison. Wow. That's a lot of spoilers right there for anybody who hasn't been caught up yet. Maybe the incident with the tank wouldn't have come when it did, but I don't think it would matter because the governor was still going to have whatever happened to him in his timeline affect everybody at the prison. But the fact that the prison could have lasted a little bit longer against walkers, maybe the fence would have stayed up longer. But it don't matter, seeing as the tank just went right through it. Anyway, the little psycho girl, Lizzie, is the cause for the walkers being fed at the prison. Case solved. Wow. Like I said, I could have called it. Oh, this is Diamond Toronto 1. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out my other videos. Let me know what you think. Anyway, thanks for watching.